The Wager Talk college basketball tip-off show anchored by Dave Koken and Ralph Michaels has been a success. Dave and Ralph wanted to personally thank each and every one of you who watched the show by having a blowout college hoops special to end the season. How would you like to get every release for the rest of the regular season, all the conference tournament selections, plus March Madness through the national championship on April 5th, or any other postseason play? Now, how about paying only $2.99? Well, $2.99 each is a very fair price, but they wanted to offer a blowout season special. If you go to Dave or Ralph's Wager Talk homepage, you'll see a $2.99 special for both cappers to get college basketball through the Final Four. Now that is a thank you.
All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome back, NBA. It's the NBA tip-off show. It is powered by WagerTalk.com, and a loaded slate in the association here tonight. We've got you covered on 4 games. That's right, 4. We're going to talk a little Phoenix Suns, Portland Trailblazers. We're going to talk also out west, little Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors, Knicks, Bucks, and also New Orleans and Memphis, all on tap for you, along with a couple of best bets. Our good friend John Ryan at sportsmemo.com. He's got a system and an angle that nobody will be able to read, but we'll send it anyway, and we'll do it with 3 of the very best that we have at WagerTalk.com. Welcome back, Ski Prophet in the house. Already bitching and moaning about the Contrarian game here today. It's all good stuff. And look at this, Tony Finn back in action right off of that baseball best bet on the show yesterday that was already in the 3rd inning. And, of course, to round it out and hit cleanup here so he can center us all, that would be Rob Vino once again here with us. So, Ski, I'm going to start with you, my man. It's been a week since the last time we made fun of Tony Finn, so I know you got to be excited that we can do that again here, including, and I won't bring up the fact that there was a bet of 10.5 points, OKC versus San Antonio before the All-Star game, that somebody did a little bit of this and then lost. So I don't know if you got your Sawbucks, but what do you got going on at Wager Talk today, Ski?
Oh, yeah, I definitely send them over, Tony. Send them my way. I forgot all about that. But I was more interested if he cashed on his 3rd inning bet. That's what I really wanted to know. Myself, you know, I'm 23, I think, and 9. My last whatever show NBA plays, I think that goes back to the beginning of March. So hitting about a little bit above 70%. And today I have a 3-pack up and I have 5 plays total. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, he is loaded and ready to go. Speaking of loaded, Tony Finn back in the action right in the middle. Tony, how are you, my friend? I don't know if you had anything in the association because we pretty much covered both of those games last night, but how did you do last night? What do you got coming up today?
Well, on the show, we only had 2 games, and I played both games. I released one. I released Dallas. They won. They covered by double digits, and we spoke of Memphis. Today, I have 2 in the NBA. I have yet to publish them, to post them, to put them for sale on the market, only because I'm waiting to hear what Rob and Ski have to say first before I make anything official. I would never miss the NBA tip-off show when these 2 are on it, because I do nothing that's contrary to their beliefs. So, and I have no baseball today for you, Joe, though. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's because none of the games have started yet. All right, Rob Vino, listen, Tony Finn doesn't have anything up yet, which must mean you don't either, since you pretty much steal all your plays from him. Isn't that correct?
That is correct, Joe. There's no doubt about it. I would not have gotten to where I am without cheating off of Tony Finn's answers. That was a great move there, Tone, saying that you want to copy off of me and Ski. But it's a smart move. I'll give you that much. What was I supposed to talk about here? You got me
just tell me how you been. What do you got going on at Wager Talk, man? Talk to me.
Yeah, I've been great. Hey, today up at WagerTalk.com right now. College basketball, that pretty much preoccupied my morning, early afternoon. You guys know me. I'm sitting around waiting for that 1:30 injury report. Pretty important since only 4 teams got going last night, and the rest of the league gets going here this evening. Last night, I think before the break, I might have mentioned it on this show or another show, but I was pretty high on Memphis going on a run. So I had Memphis last night. That was the good side. The bad thing was I had to, MF Greg Popovich and the Spurs for the last 54 seconds of the first half. I'm trying to get over 112, and I can't get a single point. I can get Luka, bashing into people trying to get to the rim, and winds up 111, so we lose our first half. But I think Memphis, guys, just to reiterate, is a team to watch this second half. They absolutely destroyed Washington last night, pretty much healthy. There's some stuff to talk about here today as well with these teams all opening up the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. There is. It's a loaded card in the association, guys. And, of course, as you heard them, all best bets up and ready to go. Visit WagerTalk.com. But let us talk a little bit about our Contrarian. Welcome back, the Contrarian game and play of the day here to the show. Boy, have we missed you, except for Ski. He is not happy with this game because we're going to take a look at the Portland Trailblazers. They are going to be hosting the Phoenix Suns tonight. Now, what was interesting about this game is where this line opened and where it resides right now. This line opened up Portland at home, laying 2.5, and it has since gone all the way up 2 points. Now, the Trailblazers are getting 4.5 points at home on this one. So, Ski, I'm going to come to you, man, because you've been mumbling the entire time. Contrarian damn playing. Talk to me here. Do you agree with the move? Do you not agree with the move? Like, where are you on this game here tonight?
You don't act like you don't know. You know I don't agree with the move on this game. I for one, I understand why the line is moved. It's because I think Booker, or at least I think I saw him upgraded to likely to play. Mm-hmm. So if he's more likely to play, you obviously feel more comfortable with Phoenix winning the game. So I think that's probably why the line moved, in my opinion. And when you bet Phoenix anyway, like if you ask me who's going to win this game, I'm going to say Phoenix is going to win. And when they win, they cover. So I don't think 4.5 is a big ask. I have the line closer to 7. Phoenix are the second best, I think, covering team in the NBA. I think they're 24-11 against the spread. I'm fading that Contrarian today.
All right, you're saying the hell with you, Contrarian, going with the road favorite there. And how about you? Tony Finn, talk to me, man. Do you agree with the market move, or do you think the Contrarian home dog might be one to look at?
Well, I would agree with Ski. First off, when I saw this yesterday, we talked about it on the show. We've talked about how all Portland did, at least before the break, a month before the break, was win. I thought they were undervalued. For the most part, they were on no matter where they played, whether they're home, whether they're away. They found a way to win. Now that trend and that success faded a little bit at the end of the first half, going into the break. But this is a really good litmus test tonight. We're going to find out right off the bat. The Blazers are going to get measured by a matchup against the Suns. The Suns team that is, as we talked about, they're the most balanced. They have the second best ATS mark. They're the best ATS at home. They're the best in the league ATS on the road, which is really important in my bubble. That meaning that they're balanced. They don't have to be at home. They can be equally as difficult away. And I've said it and I'll say it again. McCollum, how these Blazers won without McCollum and how they did it was surprising in my world. And at some point in time, that had to, that circus the 10 had to fall. And I think it has, and the Suns are to play tonight.
So a little regression he expecting from Portland. But, Rob, I got to come to you, the level-headed one of the group here. Let's face it, Portland, they play much better at home, right? The last game that these two played, I think it was a 32-point win at home for Phoenix, but they also shot close to 50% from three-point range. But very hard to replicate that here in this matchup tonight. Who do you like?
Yeah, and you know what, Joe? It's been hard for them to replicate 19 straight up wins, 19 covers, 20 straight up wins, 20 covers, 21 straight. They're all the way up to 23. They've won 23 games this year, covered every single one of them. They've lost 11. They haven't covered any of those. So, as simplistic as that sounds, Ski hit on it already. When they cover, I would expect that 32-point win wouldn't turn into, wouldn't change 33 points and turn into a Portland win. So for me, it would probably be Phoenix. Again, you have to be sure of Devin Booker. I feel pretty safe in saying that Booker will play, but this NBA, I mean, the stuff they pulled even heading into the break is just insane. So you're never really sure who's on the floor, who's not. But in that game where they won by 32, Booker had 34 points. Chris Paul did not play well whatsoever. The defensive edge here is very much in Phoenix's favor. That motto that they created to start the season of be a pest on every possession, just it seems like they are. It kind of went away toward the All-Star break. They got involved in more overs, more high-scoring games, but I think they're the better team here. So for me at this price, it would be Phoenix.
Yeah, he has this for a number, guys. Damian Lillard was minus 29 on the court in that first game. Horrific, absolutely horrific. So he's going to need to do, obviously, a better job in this game tonight if that contrarian play is going to come up. And, of course, that is Portland plus 4.5. But our good friend John Ryan at sportsmemo.com, he has provided us an angle of the day for this game. And it says that we're going to play on road favorites, coming off a winner, 20 or more points, and facing an opponent who had both scored and allowed 100 points in 3 consecutive games. And this trend, 44-17-3 against the number, 72% winning bets over the last 5 seasons. He's going against the contrarian game here tonight and saying that Phoenix is the way to go. So a clean sweep across the board. Sorry, Portland. It's Phoenix for us here on the show. We'll see how that works out tomorrow. Let's move on to one of our featured games here. And, of course, our first game is going to feature out west. Couple of interesting teams at this point. The Clippers going to be hosting the Warriors. Opens up at a 7.5-point mark here, and it's remained pretty steady. I'm still seeing some 7.5s. I'm seeing the total also right around 230. So, Tony Finn, I'm going to come to you first here, my man. The Clippers, certainly, when they put it all together, they are extremely dangerous here. Do you like them in this spot laying a touchdown?
Well, there'll be no excuses anymore. I mean, I'm going to assume this rest, and I'll assume that the intel I have on this game is accurate, that the Clippers are going to go into this matchup fully healthy. No injuries to report. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Leonard, George, both missed some time before the All-Star break with a variety of ailments. But they both looked healthy in the All-Star game, if you watched any of that. And there's been a little time. Even Marcus, even Morris Sr. Is supposed to make his return, that post-cushion issues he's had. Here's the deal. The Clippers are facing a team that's a conundrum for me. Golden State's difficult for me to put their arms around. They rank 6th in the NBA. Defensive efficiency. I'm going to give all that to Green, you guys. He's still an excellent switch defender. He's a terrific weak side helper. And the Warriors have a surprisingly long length with some of their trades. So this said, the Clippers should blitz Curry all day, and they're supposed to win this game and win it decisively as a healthy group of players that are supposedly contenders for the NBA title. The Clippers win, they cover.
All right, well, Rob, I got to tell you, Golden State, I'm sure, was extremely happy to get to the All-Star break. That road trip that they had was, what was it, Orlando, Charlotte, New York, Indiana, Los Angeles, Portland, Phoenix. So Steph Curry and Draymond Green didn't even play in that last game before the All-Star break. They are rested now, and they are ready to go against the Clippers team who lost 4 out of 5 heading into the break. So should the Clippers be favored by more than a touchdown?
You know, my gut feeling all day long, Joe, and this is with nothing to back it, just, in this business so long, you develop a gut feeling on certain games, is that Golden State would cover this number. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and rattle off 100 things to back that up. I just feel like they'll be in this contest. But there's 2 games that we can go back to that were played between these 2 teams. It was a 2-game set, but not back-to-back, back in early January. The games didn't reach this particular total that we're staring at tonight. I think we're looking at 230 and a half. These games hit 209 and 220 with 2 fully healthy squads. Now, Tony's case in point, blitz Curry, and the Clippers will win the game. You know, the game that the Clippers won in that 2-game set, Steph Curry only had 13 points. They played 2 nights later. Steph Curry had 38, and Golden State won the game. So Curry may be the key to this entire thing here. I know this. Steve Kerr has, I don't want to say called out Andrew Wiggins, but he's asked, a couple of quotes I read where he said he's demanding more of Andrew Wiggins in this second half. And I think that's to pick up some of the slack, again, to Tony's point, and help out Steph Curry from a scoring standpoint. They'll have all their guys back. Both of these teams will be fully healthy. And remember, in the 2 meetings in January, they were both fully healthy. But when they have Wiseman back and their center positions are, once again full, it's a different type of Golden State team, a team that head coach Steve Kerr had asked in the beginning of the year, give me some defense. We're going to have to win by playing some defense. And off of the rest period here, I think maybe you'll see it. My first inclination, like I say, was just gut feeling Golden State. I would also think that maybe this one stays under just based on recent history. There was, once upon a time, Joe, an angle where if you had a cluster of players that went to the All-Star game, you would bet against that team their first game out. The travel to and from, all the festivities, blah, blah, blah. The team would come out a little lackadaisical, but it doesn't apply to anybody we're going to talk about today. So I don't think you can put that into play. I think here I'd probably look either Golden State or under.
Okay, well, it's both the total and the side ski kind of holding fast there, 7.5, right around the 230 mark. How do you approach this game? Who do you like?
Well, for the most part, I don't think it's the role that Golden State has really had success. Like, they haven't been good as a road dog. They're 4-8. Versus competition, 55% win teams are better. They're 5-9 against the spread. But at the same time, I just think that they're in the 9th spot if it had to end right now for the playoffs. I think it's going to be a little boost in the way that they've been playing with Curry coming off how he performed in All-Star. I just think he carries that momentum into the second half of the season. And to what Tony said about blitzing Curry, I think it would work if Draymond wasn't playing. But if you have Draymond, you have another playmaker on the floor, and he can get the ball where it needs to go just fine. So I think it's a lot of points. I think I trust Rob's gut. I don't think it was gas. I like Golden State +7 in this game.
All right, there you go. Going with the dog, Golden State Warriors in that one. Let's take a look at that next featured game that we've got going on. And here they are, boy. Talk about I can't get any respect. The New York Knicks, by the way, to many, might still continue to be the most undervalued team in the NBA. They opened up as a 10.5-point dog on the road against the Milwaukee Bucks. Total 224.5 is what it opened up at. I'm seeing 222.5, but I'm still seeing an awful lot of 10.5. So let me come to you, Rob, first here. Listen, the Knicks, third best ATS in the NBA here, and nobody continues to give them any credit. This schedule to start the second half is just, it's disgusting. It's brutal. So do you think the Knicks have a chance to get off on the right foot here and continue to cover against the Milwaukee Bucks?
Well, it is just that, right, Joe? It's like a clean slate for everybody here. They've all played 36 or 37. They're going to play 36 or 35 this second half. And I know every head coach, every team, it's almost like when baseball season opens, everybody feels like they've got a chance unless you're, totally out of it at this point. The Knicks certainly not one of those. They bashed this Milwaukee team way, way back in December when the Knicks weren't even thought to be any good. I mean, when people were betting Knicks under season win totals that far back, 130 to 110. The fact that the Knicks put up 130 in December is almost mind-boggling under Tom Thibodeau. But, there's a couple of things here that I just think work in their favor. A, like you said, it's the first of a road trip. It's the first of a rugged road trip. And this team's probably prepared for game one. Milwaukee, when they win by margin, which seems to come in clusters, they seem to do it against teams that don't play any defense. The Knicks don't fit that mold. When the Knicks first played Milwaukee, Quickly was not a part of this rotation. So that's an extra playmaker, scorer off the bench that the Knicks have found over the course of time. And they're able to put up enough points here recently to go ahead and win as a favorite. I think I had them against Detroit heading into the break. They win by 10, laying 7.5. So I don't know that scoring is the issue that it was for New York way back when. I still don't like Milwaukee's defense. If you go all the way back to that game where they gave up 130 to the Knicks, you can start tracing their defensive problems way back then. I don't trust Milwaukee enough to lay the points. I'm not sure I want to run to the window with the other side because Milwaukee may be refocused as well. But if I had to, Joe, I would play the Knicks plus the points here. I just don't see it's not a matchup in my mind that favors the Milwaukee Bucks here. They need a soft defensive team where they can run up scores, and the Knicks just aren't that right now.
You know, it's interesting, Steve. We talk about the Knicks being undervalued. The Bucks have been overvalued all season, and I didn't realize. You realize this is the first time the Knicks are over 500 since Carmelo Anthony back in 2012? That's just absolutely mind-blowing to me at this point in the season. So, do you agree with Rob? Is there some value once again on the New York Knicks here?
I don't know if that's before or after Amari Stoudemire was taking those wine baths, but that's a long time with the New York Knicks. I agree for the most part with Rob, yeah, because, I mean, he kind of nailed it. It's a team that I don't think Milwaukee can have success. Like, they can stop or they can limit Milwaukee in transition. I think New York is a really good defensive team. The only thing I don't really like about it is Rose is out and Rivers is out. And that's a decent amount of
That back. Yeah, one sec. They'll all be coming back. Yes.
Joe, how about your Miami Hurricanes, buddy? I'm looking here at they're 33-29.
Yeah, not gonna be started. All right, guys, welcome back in. You know, technology is wonderful when it works. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work. But, you know, we're back here again. And when we last spoke on the NBA Tip-Off Show, we were getting ready to hear from Ski and his thoughts on the New York Knicks taking on the Milwaukee Bucks here tonight. 10.5 is what we're seeing. So, Ski, before technology gave you a giant middle finger and tried cutting you off, you will not be silenced on this show, my friend. Tell me, Ski, who do you like in this matchup? Still some value on the Knicks?
I thought somebody just didn't like what I had to say. But yeah, I like the Knicks. If I have to play this one, I think that they can defend Milwaukee well. I think they'll limit them enough to make up for the absence of Rose, make up for the absence of Rivers on offense. I think that they'll win this game or get the money at least defensively. So I trust New York, but I trust them more in the first half. They covered 14 of the last 15, and I've been on this train for quite a while. Not all of the games. I wish it was all of the games, but the last three even. The margin is plus 6.7 for New York, plus 0.3 for Milwaukee. Milwaukee could be focused, but I'm riding this one until it stops. New York on the first half, plus 6.5.
All right, going New York on the first half there. It's if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Ski. That's the way we look at it. All right, guys, one more game here. I'm sorry, we got one. Did we get to you there, Tony? I'm so sorry, Tony. I know you were trying to get the plays in so Rob could copy them. My fault, my man. Tony Finn, what do you like in the Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks game, my friend?
Quickly, if you look at power rankings and maybe Rob, Ski, their power rankings, and you'll find, I'm going to guesstimate that we're going to find Milwaukee about between 7th and 8th, 9th, right in that area. You'll find New York 15th, 16th in the middle of the pack. And here we are. You guys have spoke to it. We have an 11-point handicap in a game with two teams that supposedly are both supposed to be at least postseason contenders. We know Milwaukee is a championship contender, according to people in Wisconsin. But the thing is this. The Knicks, in this case, I think are undervalued. However, what do we make of a team that enters tonight's game as an 11-point dog and respect? And the fact that their competition's been suspect. Look, they're 7-3 in the last 10 games. 8 of those came against a team with a losing record. 2 wins, their last 2, against Detroit Pistons. I think I like New York 11 points. However, when is reality going to set in with this Knicks, or is it going to set in? Is this team what they are appearing to be right now? That's a question mark. I would take New York 11, but at some point in time, I'm going to have to jump off this train unless Thibault actually steps up and says, we're for real, or I believe in this team. I know that that's coach speak right now, but their schedule gets more difficult.
The hell's the last time they let you on a train? Who are you kidding? 17-19 against the number, guys, is what the Milwaukee Bucks are this season. 17-19. So a little bit overvalued. It might actually be the case here as well tonight against the New York Knicks. All right, it's overtime, guys. Time to take a look here at one of the totals on the board. And the total we're going to take a look at here, how about this Minnesota Timberwolves and New Orleans Pelicans matchup here? Just a couple of shy of 240 there. And Rob, you're a totals guy. I'm coming to you first, my friend. Talk to me about this total. Is it over or not for you in this one?
Well, this one's interesting, Joe, because if I want to buy into the coaches and if I want to buy into this as a new start for teams in the second half, then maybe the total's a shade too high. But if you look at what's going on this year, even without D'Angelo Russell in their lineup, heading into the break in their last 5 games before the All-Star break, Minnesota gave up 130 or more points. So right away, knowing that New Orleans can score that many, that would lead you to over. But let me just say this. Chris Finch takes over as head coach in Minnesota. Let's not grade him on the 5 games before the break when he took over. He himself said that he was using that as a little bit of an experimental time to find out what he's got for personnel. I got a couple of quotes here from him. Chris Finch, we're going to tighten things up. We're going to play the guys that compete the hardest. We've got to be more competitive on every single play down the floor. These performances only end when we decide they end. We're trying to go in a different direction. We're not married to anything. Coming out of the break, I have a pretty good feel for what we're going to get into with our rotations, what our offensive system is going to look like, and what our defensive system is going to look like. I'm pretty confident that our identity will start from there. Well, it just basically tells you that it's still up in the air what this team's going to be, right? If I'm to read between the lines on that, I think this guy wants to play more defense, probably doesn't have the parts to play defense. And that's the same thing as Stan Van Gundy. I won't read you Stan Van Gundy's quotes heading into the second half because I'm sick of his quotes. And that guy's been talking about they need to play defense for 2 months, and they don't play defense. The group doesn't listen to this guy, so there's no sense buying into that. I think, Joe, as much as the coaches want to push it that way, I don't know that it goes that way. Minnesota is still without Russell. They're going to be without Jarrett Culver here as well. They're also missing Beasley, who's still on league suspension. It's too many points from that lineup to be missing. So I think I'm going to have to play New Orleans minus the 8 and go away from the total. But since this is our overtime section, I would say just, back over until proven differently with these two teams. And New Orleans' first half over has been really profitable. I think 11-2 last 13.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Ski, you've talked about it. The Pelicans kind of switched gears the minute they went up tempo, right? So you got a Minnesota team that's the third fastest in the league. When these two teams met, you're looking at 250, right? 240, 250, somewhere in that ballpark. So is it over for you in this one?
Yeah, that's the only way I can look at it. And just like Rob said, I don't care about what any of the quotes say. They just continue to go over the number. Over 4 of the last 5 for Minnesota. The over at home for New Orleans is 15-3, 15-3-1. There's no way to look anywhere else. Both teams should play really fast. Pelicans don't play any defense, and that should help out a Minnesota offense that hasn't been that great. So I think it's an up-tempo game. I think there's potential for points. It'll be over or not for me.
Over or not for you? It's funny. Tony Finn, I think it's been almost the first time that they've scored under 100 points, that Pelicans was against Miami recently, and that was the first time in 3 months. So chances are for a team that scores on an average 115 points, we're going to get some points in this game, aren't we?
Well, we will get some points in this game, but to both Ski and Rob, I also agree, especially with Rob, with this total. Eventually, the Pelicans might be what? 21-3, the over, 6-0. Their numbers to the north side of the oddsmakers closing the total is pretty strong. But the oddsmakers are no idiots. They've continued to move this number higher and higher, and it's getting to the point where if Van Gundy was right, and if you look at what New Orleans did the first month of the season, look at their pace numbers, guys. They tried as hard as they could to buy into what Van Gundy was feeding them, and that is we have to play more deliberate. It wears the other team down when they have to play defense for 20 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds. And this is how you win championships. Van Gundy's an old school guy. Defense wins championships. It's no longer the case. I think it's no longer the case in the NFL, guys. And it's truthfully, in my opinion, no longer the case in the NBA, unless you look at the champions, the last 10 NBA champions. If you look at the defensive efficiency of those teams that won the championship, you're going to find that all of them are at least top 10 defenses. And I'm guessing. I don't know that for a fact, but I think you're going to. I don't know what to expect from Finch. This number's too high, and I'm not going to play to the north side of this until I know more about what Finch is going to do with Minnesota. What do you guys think of Minnesota? When I think of Minnesota, it's like, is this the Clippers of the 80s and 90s? This team can't win no matter who they have, no matter who the coach is, and no matter who they're playing. They can't win.
Over, under, like what?
No, I'm not in the room. I'm not in the room, but the number's too high.
Scared. I mean, the name of the segment is overtime, and I don't even know what the hell that was you just said. Over or
5
under?
minutes.
Yes,
5 minutes of overtime, damn it. Under.
Okay, guys, just a reminder here that you can visit Tony Finn, along with Ski Profit and Rob Vino, at WagerTalk.com. Grab their best bets. It is locked and loaded, the card here tonight. Full in the association. Obviously, college basketball also going there. Everything that is hoops with these three gentlemen at WagerTalk.com. Take advantage of those 3, 7, and 30-day all-access packages. Now would be the time to do it. March Madness just around the corner, and, of course, the second half of that NBA season ready to go. All right, guys, it is time. Buzzer beater, best bet time. We're going to get to that. Of course, we're going to give each of you 60 seconds, but we did add a new best bet here on the show as well, and it comes from our friends at the Gold Sheet. And our friends at the Gold Sheet, their play of the day is the Chicago Bulls. Look at that. Bulls, 3.5 over the Philadelphia 76ers in Chicago. And I will let you know, guys, that these full write-ups can be found at WagerTalk's Twitter page. So just visit WagerTalk on Twitter right there. All of the Gold Sheet plays of the day can be found there on every show. So check it out. It's some great stuff there. Great write-up, great data, great information. Head over to WagerTalk on Twitter. All right, Ski, we are coming to you, my man. 60 seconds on the clock. Those of you that are new, we basically give these guys 60 seconds to break down their best bet for us. They can do whatever they want with the 60 seconds. As long as they give us a best bet here tonight, we're good with it. So, Ski, 60 seconds, brother man. Talk to me. Best bet. Where are you going tonight?
Yeah, honestly, I'm over here shuffling through my work and seeing kind of what I played already and where I want to go. What lines haven't moved. A majority of them have moved. But I still do like this one game, and I'll tell you why. It's going to be Atlanta and Toronto. And I think Toronto is a team that I want to sell because, first of all, there's nobody playing. They're talking about shopping Kyle Lowry, and that just doesn't seem like a team that has a lot of confidence in what they're doing right now and a lot of confidence in where they're going this season. So that's the team I want to sell on. And Atlanta, it's a team I want to buy because they're happy that they got a new coach. They didn't like Lloyd Pierce. They play for Nate McMillan. They'll play a little bit of defense. And we expected this team to be better than they performed. They started off the year really good. They're fairly healthy now. I think that I want to buy on Atlanta now. And even at -3, I know it's went up a little bit. I like Atlanta to win this game. So Atlanta -3, my best bet.
Look at that. Leading it off, man. Nothing but net, people. Nothing but net, Ski. Way to go, man. Back in Atlanta. Screw you, Toronto, and your Tampa Stadium. All right. Let's go, Tony Finn. You are up, my man. 60 seconds. You can count the seat. You want us to clap it out for you, Tony? You all right? You okay? 60 seconds. You all right? All right, here we go. 60. Come on, give it. Tony Finn, baby. Where you going? Buzzer beater, best bet. Go.
You mean I have a whole 60 seconds
Yeah.
without having to hear you?
Oh.
There we go. Now I'm gonna relax a few minutes. I'll read something over here. Here's the deal. I'm in bed with Ski on this play. I know it's a shame. I know it's a shock to you, but in my opinion, my numbers, my net numbers, my rankings, all my adjusted peripherals, Atlanta has vastly outperformed their number, their record, their standing, 16-20. Is that what they are, guys? I don't know. You guys are the experts. They rank right in the middle of the pack, adjusted net rating, which still outperforms their overall mark. Offensive efficiency, pretty good, 113.8 on my charts. And while they've slid a little bit defensively over the course of the last 2 weeks prior to the All-Star break, I'm going to buzz.
Yeah, that's where you go. That's it. Shut your pie. I'm not even sure what the hell you were saying. All I know is, hey, whatever Ski said, you could have just said that and given us 60 seconds of quiet. Rob Vino, my friend, come on, my man. Talk to me. Where are you going here? Buzzer beater, best bet.
Mine's easy. I'm going to copy Tony's.
Oh,
Give
Christ.
me the buzzer. I'll talk for 75 seconds and buzz me out. Just what those guys were saying. Toronto, still with the health and safety protocol issues, right? No Anunoby, no Siakam, no Van Vliet. How are you going to play Toronto? That's crazy. But I'm going to go back to something that I started with 3 weeks ago. I'm going to play Charlotte over. Total here, 225.5. 9-1 to the over in their last 10 games. Joe, those 10 games, the 9 overs, they've all hit 224 or better. Detroit's not a team capable, really, of dictating any type of pace or imposing their will, so Charlotte will impose theirs. They become an up-and-down team. That's their new identity. With LaMelo Ball running the show, they shoot threes. They're totally healthy. You got Graham back tonight. You got Zeller back tonight. I see this game getting over. I mean, it's been bet up pretty strongly. It was 221.5, I think, bet all the way to 225.5. Still like it there. Give me Charlotte, Detroit over 225.5.
Attaboy, Robbie. Way to bring it back around. That's how you do it. Let me guess. You agree there, Tony Finn? You agree with Rob?
Yeah,
that's kind of what I thought. Best bet recap here. Let's take it out. Yeah, one more time. Good God almighty. Hey, what a shock. Listen, this Ski did his homework, and he likes the Hawks lane 3, and Tony does what he does best, just copied Ski. Rob Vino comes in and says, hey, you know what, man? Pistons, Hornets, give me the over 225.5. And, of course, our friends at the Gold Sheet They like the Chicago Bulls at home tonight over, laying that 3.5 over the Philadelphia 76ers. Make sure you grab that play and all the plays over there at WagerTalk.com. Skis ready. Tony Finn locked and loaded, as is Rob Vino tonight. Huge card in the association, as well as college basketball going on right now. Let's make it a profitable Thursday, guys. Visit WagerTalk.com. On behalf of Ski Profit, Rob Vino, and the dude in the middle, we appreciate your time, honestly. He's just going to agree with everything we say anyway. Tony Finn, we love him. But best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Glad you made it back for us. So best of luck with your plays. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Looking to get the edge when betting on the ponies? Get access to all of Sig's reports now through the Belmont Stakes for only $169. You will get approximately 5 sheets per week for the next 15 weeks. At $75 $9 reports, that comes out to a $675 value if purchased daily, saving you $506, and you'll have total access to Sig's horse racing selections through Derby prep season, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes.